Guys, it has been just about 60 days with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and honestly, this upgrade has really surprised me because the truth is that it's not a massive redesign. It is a phone that has wins in all the right places that are meaningful and you'll notice every day. And that's what exactly makes this really just a tricky review, because it's easy to overlook how much better the iPhone 17 Pro really is. Now let's start with what I call compound features. Individually, none of these changes are mind-blowing, but together they make the iPhone 17 Pro feel much, much different, something that you're really going to appreciate. Now, I think that the display is the first thing that you notice because it's brighter up to 3000 nits in direct sunlight. So if you're upgrading from an iPhone 14 Pro or earlier, that is about 30% peak higher brightness in direct sunlight. So when you combine that with the new anti-reflective coating, you can finally see the screen clearly in just daylight. Doesn't matter where you're at. I mean, even if you're in, South Florida. And of course, there's that 120 hertz ProMotion display that still anchors everything. It's one of those things that you stop noticing until you actually use a phone without it. And thankfully, that's not the iPhone 17 anymore, because all the displays in the iPhone 17 lineup have ProMotion. Then there's the camera system. You have got three 48 megapixel sensors across the rear camera bar. Sorry, camera plateau. I'm still not even used to saying it. All delivering those, I can't believe that you took this on an iPhone results. I mean, the results are really good. I'm gonna show you some photos here. They're gonna speak for themselves. Now, I think it is seriously impressive because new this year is the 8x optical telephoto lens. Not only is the lens usable, it's crisp, it is confident, and it's been one of those things I've constantly used for travel and street shots. I just came back from Milan like a week ago and I used this. I actually didn't even want to take my Sony camera out most of the time because it was just so heavy. And this really was my go-to companion for street and just kind of capturing moments. Let me know what you think about it, but I think the shots are just amazing. Now up front, there's the new 18 megapixel front-facing camera, which is sharper and better at framing, and it even will auto frame thanks to the square sensor. And if you record yourself often, this is an improvement that shows up right away because it's going to be something that's it's just a easy value add. And actually, when you are taking like FaceTime calls, you can easily frame from portrait to landscape without any type of discernible loss in quality. And better yet, you do not need to hold the iPhone sideways because that just feels awkward for everybody that's involved. Here's a quick look at what the camera can do when these shots are straight out of camera with a dynamic range and sharpness, just to show how it comes from on a camera.
This is Castle Sforza. Over there, you have that. There are like a billion of arrow shooters.
Now, I think that dual capture and the improved sensor pairing really make a difference in day-to-day shooting. That footage looks balanced and I can record longer without it overheating like it did with the iPhone 16 Pro. Now, let's shift gears to what I think is the sleeper hit, and that is the battery life. With an electrifying capacity of just over 5,000 milliamp hours in the iPhone 17 Pro Max, even on heavy days, navigation, camera editing, calls, I'm ending with 20 to 30% left. And even when I was on vacation, I was able to use my phone for most days using maps, using FaceTime, using phone calls, and still get through the day with 15, 20, 25% left at the end of the day. And it just keeps going and going and going, just like the Duracell bunny. Duracell or Energizer? It's the Energizer bunny, actually. So what actually keeps it cool is that new vapor chamber cooling and its fast charging speeds up to 40 watts wired and 25 watts wireless, which means that you can hit 50% in under 30 minutes when you're doing wireless charging. Now, for the first time, it really feels like the iPhone is built for all-day performance. It's been a while, I think, maybe since the iPhone 13, but now you are getting all-day performance on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And the iPhone 17 Pro is really not that much different, so you should still be able to get by even on that phone. Now, there's that new A19 Pro chip that isn't just about speed, it's about stability, frame rates stay consistent, apps resume instantly, and if you are a gamer or push the chip real hard, the A19 Pro finally keeps frame rates steady. If you travel, the brighter screen, the longer battery life, meaning that you can stop thinking about your battery percentage midday, maybe even early morning. Next, the iPhone 17's design change isn't about looks, it's really about function. This year, Apple switched to aluminum unibody construction to help with heat dissipation, and with that new full width camera plateau, it's not there as a flex, it actually spreads heat across the back of the phone. It is thicker, it is heavier, but the trade-off feels intentional in my opinion. And with that new finish, which Cosmic Orange, which I traded mine in for this now, what is called silver or white, deep blue, this iPhone finally feels like it has a personality again. I just want better colors. I mean, Cosmic Orange is a good color. It just wasn't me, and I couldn't keep it. But just know that the aluminum, it will scuff way easier than titanium, so you'll probably want a case sooner rather than later. So the question is, did Apple nail the iPhone 17 Pro Max? I think they did, because this is the first upgrade in a very, very long time that you're not buying it for a headline feature. You buy it because the experience finally feels complete. The brightness, the cameras, the battery life, the speed, they all work together in a way that makes you feel like you're using your iPhone. It's simpler and somehow it's just more capable at the same time. Now, none of these things would justify an upgrade on their own, but the year-over-year changes compounded into the iPhone 17 Pro actually change how you will use your iPhone. It gives the iPhone 17 Pro Max its own identity, not just as the biggest phone in the lineup, but the best one to live with day to day. So if you're upgrading from an iPhone 13, iPhone 14 Pro, you are getting more performance, more storage, longer battery life, and significantly better cameras, all for roughly the same price what it cost you when you originally upgraded your phone several years ago. Now that alone, in my opinion, makes this year's iPhone Pro Max feel less about luxury and more about longevity. But if your current iPhone already does everything that you need, you are not missing out on anything revolutionary. You're just waiting for Apple's next round of refinement. This isn't about flashy new tricks, it's about the new things that actually unlock what you can do with your iPhone. Dual capture video and 8x zoom that's finally worth using, and an 18 megapixel front-facing camera that keeps you perfectly framed, and a design that looks and performs like the next generation of iPhone. For me, this year feels like the moment that Apple stopped chasing what's new and started perfecting what's working. Kind of like a Porsche. Now, if you want to see how I set mine up for everyday use, check out the video up here. Now, YouTube thinks that you're going to love this video down here, which is actually my favorite. You should definitely watch that next. My name is Mike. Guys, if you found this helpful, please tap subscribe. I post new videos every week to help you get the most out of your iPhone, your iPad, and your Mac. My name is Mike, and I'm out of here.